Welcome back to the Force 9's YouTube channel. Welcome back to an Andalusian adventure with Sevilla FC and Football Manager 2017. And today we're going to have a bit more of a look at the Sevilla team. We're going to look at the squads and check out a tactic. And if we have time, we will play a game. But we're going to start off on this screen because there's a few things about Sevilla which I didn't really show. You can see they've been in La Liga since, what season was that, 2001, and they've been, you know, in the top half, and they've had some good finishes, a couple of third place finishes, and they've been in and around the European places. But I want to try and get them Champions League qualification this season. We'll see if we can do that. So you can see on the right hand side, you can see us as the manager, you can see the captain Iborra, vice captain Caliso, key player Samir Nasri, who is on loan of course. Hot prospect is Joaquin Correa, who is a 21-year-old attacking midfielder. The Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan Stadium has a 45,500 capacity, average condition, and it was built in 1958. I think the stadium is a good enough size. 45,000 is a lot of people, so I don't think we'll need to expand on that or get a new one. I think that's okay. They are in the Champions League this year, of course, because they won the Europa League, their third successive Europa League win. Reputation 4.5 stars. One of the oldest clubs in Sevilla, as I said in that little history package last episode, which I hope you enjoyed. I'm quite happy with it, so it's good. Rivals at the moment, they've got a local rivalry with Real Betis and a competitive rivalry with Atletico Madrid, and the same with Real Madrid and Barcelona and Valencia, and then historic rivalries with Malaga and Cadiz. And the derby is the Sevillano derby against Real Betis. Sevilla have rich finances, but they do like to spend quite carefully. Our transfer budget at the moment is kind of on the shoestring level. We have about 3 million and that's it. But I don't think there's a lot of improvements for now that need to be made to the team. But we'll have a look at that a little later on. I can see some of the legends there. Antonio Puerta, of course, the defender who passed away in 2007 after a heart attack. Juan Arthur's there as well. Icons, you've got Canute there, you've got Jose Reyes, Jesus Navas, the goalkeeper Palop, Biri, the first black player to play for Sevilla, the former manager Unai Emery is there, Kevin Gamera is a favourite personnel, Rakitic used to play for them, Vitolo still plays for them, Koke's gone to Schalke. So in terms of the facilities, the pitch condition is good. We have adequate corporate facilities, excellent training facilities, and great youth facilities. And the junior coaching is good, youth recruitment is well established, so that's all okay. I think if we can build on it, we will, because we have the money to do so. If we have a look at how much we actually have in terms of balance, 21 million, so you know there's definitely ways that we can improve the club, so we'll definitely do that. Okay, so let's have a look at the team report then. Lots of positives, not a lot of negatives, so that's a good thing. So let's start off with the positives then. With the likes of Steven Nzonzi amongst 5 players capable of playing as a defensive midfielder, there's impressive depth in this position. That's the thing. I've looked at the squads, and there's been 1 or 2 loans that have happened, and I've scouted players that I think I want for certain positions. So midfield, we have a lot of midfield players, but they're more defensively minded. We don't have a lot of midfielders that are more suited to attacking roles, so that might be something to look at. Vitolo is one of 6 players who can feature as a right winger, showcasing good depth. We've got good options out wide, so our formation is going to include wingers, not like Swindon where it was a narrow formation. There are a number of talented young prospects, including Carlos Fernandez, David Carmona and Antonio Cotan. The squad is full of leaders and strong characters, plenty of leadership in there. We've got the captain Iborra. As an impressive player in his position, Sergio Rico stands out as a strong option as a goalkeeper. Our backup goalkeeper at the moment is injured though, so we might have to look at getting in a short-term backup, or maybe using one from the B or C squads, but we'll have a look at that. As an impressive player in his position, Mariano stands out as a strong option as a right back. So right back, as you can see, there's lots of yellow there, so we've got some good right backs, but maybe we need some better options there. We'll have a look at that. The squad has a number of impressive decision makers. It's a really hard working squad, but plenty of players willing to put in the effort. A physically strong squad, a closely knit group of players who often display high levels of individual and collective teamwork, an impressive first touch which reinforces technical quality. There's an impressive standard of passing quality amongst this group of players. The team in general are impressive jumpers and will always be able to complete aerially. plenty of room in the wage budget with an additional £135,000 a week still available. One of the best coaching teams in the competition and one of the best scouting teams in the competition. Only 2 weaknesses, so with just 3.4 million left in the transfer budget, there isn't much room for manoeuvre on that front. And there is not a great deal of quality depth outside of the first team amongst players currently at the club. So maybe a bit of depth, and we don't have a lot of money to spend, but we can move it around with the wage as well because we have lots in the wage budget. I think for now we're okay. We may need 1 or 2 signings and that's it. So there won't be a lot of activity in this transfer window. But we have one of the best coaching teams in the competition. I'll show you why. If we look at our transfer history, and if we have, as you can see, only 1 player at the moment gone. Carrillo's gone on loan to Olympic Xàtiva. I'm not sure if that's how you say that. I'm not sure about X's in Spain. But yeah, this guy's gone on loan. He's a striker. He was in the Atletico side, the Sevilla Atletico side, which is the B team. And yeah, he's just not very good. So we've loaned him to this team. So hopefully get him to first team football. But if we have a look, as you can see, there's loads of players there coming in, not players, staff. So if we have a look at transfer history, I'll show you all of the staff that I've brought in so far. So you've got all of these. The only people that have left, the former manager Sampaoli and Jesus Oliveira, who's a data analyst, because we didn't really need one of those, because I don't see the point in them. They seem to be a bit of an afterthought on Football Manager, that they don't really seem to do it. Well, they do stuff, but there's no attributes which really contribute towards that. Realistically, you'd think that judging ability and potential would be what would contribute towards a good data analyst. Much like with the sports scientists, you would imagine that fitness would be a big factor for one of those, but there's no actual highlighted attributes for those things. So I think they're a bit of an afterthought in the game, but less about that. So you can see we've got a bunch of scouts in, we've got some physios, and there's also some coming in for the under-19s as well, because as you can see, we had all these people. Like coaching staff, we needed about 3. Well, we only had 1 physio at the club, and then our head physio. We had no sports scientists. As you can see, the under-19 staff is very lacking. So we're bringing in some more coaches and physios and sports scientists and scouts. We've got lots of scouts now. And we've got some data analysts. So if we have a look at our staff, as you can see, we have the best coaching and best scouting and best medical team in the whole division. And then if we have a look at the under-19s, as you can see, it's not bad. You know, it's above average, but I think we want to be getting sort of towards this green line to try and make our coaching staff the best that they can be. Okay, so this is the tactic that I'm thinking of going with. It's a 4-1-2-3. with a defensive midfielder and with wide players. As you can see, there are a few injuries in the squad at the moment. I've got fast forwarded to the first fixture, which is a friendly against Salgueros. Escudero is injured at the moment, a double hernia keeping him out for 3 to 4 weeks. Gabriel Mercado, who is a right back / centre back, he's got a hernia, he's out for 3 weeks. David Soria has a broken finger, he's going to be out for up to 2 months. And Michael Crondelli has a cruciate injury, he's out for 3 to 5 months. So, you know, right, so we'll have to put Tremolinas at left back. Left back, we have 4 left backs, but I think some of them need to be moved on, and I'm wondering if that should be Tremolinas. He's been at the club for 3 seasons now, I think. He's 30 years old, and he's, you know, he's okay. You know, he's a very decent option, but I think we can improve on him because we have 4 good left backs, but I think we need to find like a really good left back. With the money we have, it's going to be difficult, so for this season we may have to make do, but I think long term they need replacing. So Tremolinas in this game will start at left back, Calizo and Pareja in centre defence, with Pareja playing as a ball player stopper, Mariano at right back playing as a wing back automatic, Rico is in goal, we've got Clanvita playing in defensive midfield, Iborra and Nzonzi in midfield. Nzonzi is going to be great this season, I think. He signed from Stoke last year, and I think he's going to be a top player for this first season at the very least. I think he's got a release clause in his contract of like 22 million. 39 million, even better. And then, yeah, he's playing alongside Iborra, playing as a box-to-box midfielder. He is a bit more natural in a defensive role, but like I said, we don't have a lot of midfielders who are more attack-minded. We've got Vitolo playing on the left as an inside forward, one of the best players at the club in terms of star rating. And on the right, Samir Nasri. He is, again, his best role is in the middle, but I wanted to play him out on the right. And I think he can be good as a Raumdeuter because he's got the pace to find the space. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So looking at the Raumdeuter, he's got the first touch, he's got good finishing, he's fantastic off the ball, his physicals are good, you know, he's got 14 acceleration and 14 pace, which is okay, good balance, good composure. I think he can suit that Raumdeuter role really, really well. If all else fails, we can just play him as an inside forward. So we will need to put a couple more players on the bench. We'll have to try and find some players in the other teams. So at the moment on the bench, you've got guys like Vieto, Rami, Montoya, Vasquez, Ganso, Correa, Ben Yedder, striker signed from Toulouse, I think, Lenglet, Gonzalez, and Sarabia, who, you know, I think he's probably maybe better suited to that right-hand side than Nasri. But Nasri's on loan, so I think he came on loan to play games, so we are going to play him. And yeah, Jovetic is going to start up front. I'm playing him as a trequartista at the moment, so we don't really have a out-and-out striker. But, you know, we could change him to a complete forward if we need to. Or if Vieto comes on, he does well as an advanced forward. So, you know, the tactic is definitely subject to change. So down in the B squad then, the best option we have down here is Borja Lasso, who is a attacking midfielder. So we could always call this guy up. He's a 2.5 star ability, so probably not good enough for our team, but a squad player that we could use if we need to. Other than that, you've got some good potential down here. You've got Carlos Fernandez, who is a striker option. He can play as a target man, so if we ever want to play directs and hit the ball up there, he could be an ideal target man, and he's got potential. He's 20 years old. In the C squad, we've got a right winger called Alejandro Pozzo. And yeah, he can play on the right hand side. He's got decent pace, great determination, so you know he's dedicated. And again, he's been here since the start, and he could potentially have 5-star in the future. So Pozzo could be one to look out for later on in the save. Under 19s, not a lot to write home to about here. Javi Perez probably the only decent potential here with what, even that will only be 3.5 stars. So I doubt you'll see a lot of this guy at right back. But yeah, the under 19s, there's not a lot going on here really. So that's a shame. But we've got some potential in the squad. Hopefully when we get our first youth intake, we'll have a lot as well. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with the team. It's a very good team. If we just have a look at the squad in terms of ability, as you can see, you know, a few players with 3.5 and 4 stars. Vitolo is one of the best players at the club, as is Nasri. Rico's not far behind. A lot of players here that are about 3 stars, so they will need replacing quite soon. Guys like Tremolinas and Mariano, the fullbacks, might need replacing maybe at the end of the season. So I think maybe if we are on the lookout for transfers, fullbacks are going to be a thing to look out for. And also strikers, because 2 of our 3 strikers are only here on loan. Jovetic on loan from Inter Milan, and Vieto's on loan from Atletico Madrid. Ben Yedder is the only striker that's here permanently, and yeah, he's good, but I think we want to try and get better. So one of the key things we need this season is another fullback and a striker. I think everywhere else, I think we're okay. Centre back probably needs a bit more depth, because again, these guys are getting on a bit. Parejas 32, Rami's 30. So yeah, I think long term we will need replacements for these guys, but for now they will do. Okay, so looking at instructions then, we're going to start off standard, and we'll have a fluid shape. Now, as far as what we want to play, I always like going dribble less. We are clearing the ball to the flanks because we want to get those wide players involved, and then have them hit the early crosses. I don't want to play direct, but I don't really want to retain possession either, so we'll just leave it as mixed passing. We're going to close down more. We're going to defend slightly deeper because our defenders are a bit on the old side, and I don't think they're as fast as they could be. So we're just going to defend slightly deeper, and I think that will be it for now. That is only 5 instructions, so we'll have to wait and see if we need to do any more than that. Alright, so I don't think there's anything else we need to look at, so let's play a match. We're facing a team called Salgueiros. I don't know who they are, let's have a look at them. They're a Portuguese team playing in the Campeonato de Portugal, which is the 3rd tier of Portugal. Okay, so I won't know any of their players because it's a 3rd tier Portuguese side. We're the favourites to get out there and impress me, let's just say that. and get out there and show me where you deserve a place in this team. To everybody, because you know I didn't mean to click that, but never mind. We're still learning the team, so we're just going to say that, and let's see if we can come out of this with a good result. So let's get the stats up. Let's get their formation up. Well, they've had the first shot of the game. Rico's forced into a save. And in less than 2 minutes of the game, Salgueiros had the first chance. Now they have a corner. And it's headed away by Iborra. Now they have a corner again. Lima takes it. And again it's out of play. This time it was Lopez, I think. Now Crumpet has committed a free kick. So this game hasn't got off to the greatest start. They've got a free kick in a decent position here. Lima's going to take it. It's straight at the wall. Now finally we might be able to get into this game. Now Jovetic is in possession. And that's, well, that's the end of the highlight. So far we've seen 3 corners and a foul. We're actually not having a lot of possession at the moment. It's 50-50. So I'm going to put it to counter. And I'm going to try and turn the tempo up to try and hit him on the break. I'll put the defensive line back to normal as well. Here we go. We've got a corner. Tremolinas takes it. It's headed clear by Pardal. And now Makin with it. Iborra. To Tremolinas. Jovetic. There we go. 32 minutes into the game. Stevan Jovetic has scored. And it's our first goal as Sevilla manager. So here's a replay then. It was Iborra to Tremolinas. And then the assist to Jovetic. And a nice easy goal for Stevan Jovetic. And it's a 1-0 lead. Half time. It's 1-0. We're winning, so that's fine. This match, it really is only to, you know, get people introduced to the tactic and stuff. And it's all about fitness. So, you know, as long as we win, that's fine. It would be a bit of an embarrassment if we didn't win. But I'm not looking for like a 6-0 win or anything here, because I just want to get the match fitness up, get people familiar with the new tactic, and me as a new manager as well. We've got the possession here. Kramvita to Nzonzi. Here is Iborra. Now Makin. And a shot and a goal. Victor Makin. It's Vitolo. So I didn't know that he was called. I didn't know who this Makin guy was. I didn't remember seeing him. It's actually Vitolo. So a goal for him. That's good. Do we want to actually change that to Vitolo? Because that's going to be confusing. I'm not sure. But only, well, just over a minute played in this second half. We have a 2-0 lead. Samir Nasri to Jovetic. Here's a Vitolo again. This time it's saved by the goalkeeper. And Zonzi with a shot, and that's over. I'm an hour into the game. So let's try and introduce some new players, or some different players. Nasri's not done a lot out on the right-hand side, so we're going to bring on Pablo Sarabia. Carliso's not had a lot to do. We're going to bring on Rami in his place. So a double change. Everyone else, though, is doing okay. So we'll leave them out there. If we get to 3-0, I think we can look at bringing on some more players. So far, you know, so we're dominating the game now. We started off not badly, but we didn't get off to the best start. Who's that on 68? Iborra's on 68. Let's get him off. Let's bring on Ganso. Let's put Diego Gonzalez there. I don't know what he's like. Let's play him as anchorman. Sit him sort of almost between Rami and Peleja. It's nice and steady at the moment. We're 2-0 up. Salgueiros not really been in the game since their early spell, I guess. We're coming up to the last 10 minutes of the game. Jovetic, I'll get him off. He's done well today. Let's bring on Ben Yedder. We'll leave it as Trakatisa, actually. That's okay. And Zonzi, we'll get him off. If we play, I'm just messing about with players at the moment. So, yeah, more changes. Last 10 minutes of the game. If we get a third goal, that would be nice. Let's see if we can pull off something. Time's almost up now, though. Last few seconds. Cafu is in possession. I don't think it's that Cafu, because he must be over 40. And that's full time. It's Salgueiros 0, Sevilla 2. That wasn't bad for a pre-season run out. So Lulatano are third tier Portugal as well. But our other games were against Napoli, Sampdoria and Schalke. Much more difficult. And then August 9th, we have the UEFA Super Cup against Real Madrid. So that could be an interesting one, because that's the Champions League winner against the Europa League winner. Then we have a two-legged Super Copa. So I don't know why they're in that, because they didn't win La Liga. And our first La Liga game's at the new camp. That's pretty mad. What do we do here then? Because we've got the Super Cup, which is it's for a trophy. So we've got to do that really, haven't we? That's the UEFA Super Cup. We have a Super Cup final, which is also for a trophy. And then our first game is at Camp Nou against Barcelona. So I feel like all 4 of those games have to be played, because they're all pretty big games. So I think we will do that. So Next episode we'll face Real Madrid and we'll do the first leg of the Supercopa final. And then the next episode will be the second leg of that final. And then the first La Liga game against Barcelona. That's going to be a very busy couple of weeks of Sevilla. And then we'll have a Champions League draw at some point as well, because they've got a Champions League. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting few weeks. Okay, so the Supercopa is also against Barcelona. So we're going to face Barca 3 times in a row. Okay, so I've just googled, I'm on Wikipedia. So the Supercopa de España is played between the winners of La Liga and the winners of the Copa del Rey. But if a team wins both of those, then the runners-up of the Copa del Rey will play the winners of La Liga. So did Sevilla finish runner-up of the Copa del Rey? They did, yeah. They lost 2-0 to Barcelona in the final. So, yeah, that means we'll qualify for the Supercopa. I didn't know that, so that's something else that we've got to play. So, we're going to face Real Madrid and then 3 games against Barcelona in our first 4 competitive fixtures. That is a baptism of fire if ever I've seen one. And I guess we'll start that baptism of fire next episode. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below, leave in the comments. And if you want to see videos as and when they turn up on YouTube, hit subscribe. And next episode, we'll start off with the Super Cup against Real Madrid. And then I guess we'll play the first leg against Barcelona. And then after that, we'll play them another 2 times. So, yeah, interesting start to the series. And hopefully, you'll enjoy it as much as I will. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.